I don't. Most of the time, one thing or the other is getting most of my time and energy, and everything else kind of takes a back seat or suffers. And then they just kind of naturally switch around sometimes. So I try not to worry about it too much. If I'm not doing a whole lot of painting, or if I'm not doing a whole lot of photography, like I try not to worry about it or beat myself up about it. I just focus on whatever happens to be happening at that time. But my real life job, I do a lot of teaching. I teach at two different studios, and then I do a lot of teaching and outreach programs in the public schools. Sometimes I'm able to make work in here by putting down a big piece of wood on the bed. No gallery representation at the moment. And at the moment, most of my work is performance-based. I'm doing a lot of dancing and I don't really have a whole lot of space to make visual work right now, so that's kind of sitting on the back burner. It's the way that I tend to work is it's usually all about whatever happens to be around, and then it's a process of just playing with the materials, and so rarely do I have like an idea that I need to do research into. It's not a very like research-based kind of process. It's more of a playful experimentation with materials kind of process. An art movement that I can't stand. No, I can't really think of anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of Damien Hirst. It was. I mean, it was kind of rough, but also not so bad. Like, I was doing a lot of dancing and performing at the time, but I didn't necessarily really want to be doing that. I really wanted to be focusing on the visual arts and trying to find a gallery. That just wasn't happening. So it was okay in the sense that like I had work and I was doing okay financially, but I wasn't necessarily doing the work that I wanted to be doing. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. The life of an artist is. I hope somebody at Cornish has told you that. It's really easy to get distracted and stop making work. You know, there's always some excuse that you can make not to, put yourself in the studio and make work. Greatest art accomplishment. I don't know. I've had some. I've had some good things happen. I got to choreograph for Giordano's jazz dance here in Chicago. I got to present some work in the TBA festival in Portland. I'm actually doing a performance next weekend here in Chicago at the Hyde Park Art Center. It's a ritual, an improvised dance ritual that I made as a wake for my grandfather. Really awesome things, but I don't think I've achieved anything anywhere near what I would like to. Yes and no. I loved my time that I spent there. I feel like I met some really amazing people, both fellow students and teachers. um, made, invaluable connections. And having that amount of time that time and that focus to really work was great. I do not enjoy having the debt that I have, and I wish I would have had a little bit more foresight about that. Because I was like, I just figured, I'll just pay it off when I finish school. I'll get a job and I'll pay it off. It's not that easy. It was worth it and it wasn't worth it. Like, I could have just spent 4 years going to every art show and making studio visits and making a crap load of work. And maybe I would have made the same connections. Maybe I would have met the same people. But I don't know. So yeah, so it was good, and also it financially burdened me probably for the rest of my life. By breathing a lot. It depends on what the criticism is and how it's delivered. If it's constructive, if they're actually trying to engage in a dialogue about the work, then I'm 100% open to it.
Yeah.
If at all I feel like somebody's trying to impose their own ideas on me, or if I feel like I'm being attacked, then I tend not to handle it so well. If it's what you want to do, then do whatever you have to do it. You're going to be poor, and it's going to be difficult, but there's ways to do it. There's ways to make it happen. And the people who are successful as artists, the people who are still around making art when, they're in their 50s or 60s or whatever, are not the people who had the most talent. They're the people that didn't stop doing it. So if you want to do it, you just have to do it.